Autumn is without doubt the most colourful time of the year in Scotland's countryside. The trees explode into a riot of different shades, ranging from greens to golds, topped with rustic browns. Add some water to reflect the palette of leaves and the effect is a double delight. I had never been in Loch Shiel, one of Scotland's prettiest freshwater lochs at any time of the year, so when I was in Arisaig in mid-October, I just had to go for a look. At 18 miles in length, Loch Shiel is Scotland's fourth longest loch. Although it is freshwater, it was not always the case. It was originally a sea loch, but during the time glaciers reshaped the land, the western end was closed to the sea, although the River Shiel still connects the loch to the sea. I launched my boat at Acharico and went the full length of the loch to Glenfinnan in the east, before returning. This video shows what I saw. At Acharico, it's only a short carry from the car to the shore, and it's great not having to worry about the rising tide taking the boat away. It only took a few moments to get the guppy rigged and then I was off. On the flat calm surface, one or two watery rings indicated the position a fish had gulped down a drowning insect. As the send of Loch Shiel is very shallow, I stayed at displacement speed and kept a close eye on the depth sounders, which often indicated 2 feet or less of water. Autumn sun, which would normally cast long dark shadows, was hidden by a thick blanket of cloud, but not a breath of wind stirred the water's reflective surfaces. The countryside around the western end of the loch is low-lying and fertile, while the eastern end is surrounded by steep barren hills, giving a very feared feel to the loch. Ben Reciple, standing 2,775 feet high, dominates the dark horizon. The video camera's limited dynamic range failed to pick out the lovely autumn colours due to the lack of overhead lights. Occasionally a watery sun threatened to break through the thin gap in the clouds to reveal the detail of the trees on the northern shore. However, the colours were still very mute and failed to shine in their autumn splendour. I was now approaching Eilean Finian, often referred to as the Island of the Dead. It is the burial grounds of many of the old Scottish chieftains of the area. The coffins were carried over the hills to this now dilapidated pier before being transferred to the island by boat. In days gone by, burial grounds on Scottish islands were common, as it prevented roaming wolves digging up fresh corpses for easy meat. As soon as I set foot in the island, I felt it was a special place, and I guess St. Finian did the same when he landed here in the 7th century. He built a small chapel. The chapel became a ruin in the 17th century, but the altar still stands to this day. On the way to the chapel, I took a peep into one of the main burial chambers and saw 3 small stone crosses along with some gravestones, a poignant reminder of lives gone by. Nearby lie other ancient stones, possibly covering old heroes of Clan Ranald, long gone but never forgotten. Then I went to the chapel to pay my respect to the people of the past in front of their altar. Sadly, St. Finian's bell is no longer there. It was stolen last year. I'm not religious, but I did pray for its safe return, as I recalled ringing it a few months before it was stolen. If you know of its whereabouts, please return it. It has little money value, but it meant the world to those who still live in the area today. While at the altar, I also asked the spirits of old to let the sun shine and show the true colours of autumn. I confess I had very mixed thoughts as I headed slowly back to my boat. I so longed to hear the ringing of a bell. I left the dead in peace as I got on with my life and headed deeper into lovely Loch Shiel. At times I just had to go in closer to have a look at the lovely autumn colours. I was now passing Elan Camas Dolliman where rare black-throated and also red-throated diver birds nest during the season. A rare sight indeed, but certainly not in October when there's no chance of seeing them. However, it's easy to see that the trees are remnants of the old Caledonia forest. Feeling rather hungry, I now decided to land on a sunny shingle beach. As the nearest road is a 3-mile walk over difficult terrain, it hardly surprised me I had it all to myself. I sat slurping soft drinks and scoffing sandwiches in the last warmth of the October sun. Then took a short stroll along the stony shore to get my circulation moving again. Then jumped in a boat to continue on my way. The wind began to freshen and funnel down the length of the loch, which slowed my progress a little. However, I knew it would assist me on the way back, so was not unduly concerned. Then the wind started to drop again as I passed Gascon, a former home of Mike Tomke's, the well-known naturalist and author, who wrote several of his books here in the cottage he called Wilderness. I had now travelled approximately halfway from Acharical to Glenfinnan, and the hill started to steepen and hem the loch in. Then the hills on the northern shore dropped to display lovely Glenalladale, with its river now surrounded by the hills. Wooden jetties extend into Loch Shiel, as the estate is accessible only by boat. At the head of the loch I can now clearly see the distinctive shape of street, which is 2,988 feet high, and indicates I'm now nearing Glenfinnan. I stopped once again on another stony shore to renew batteries in the camera before making my way to the end of the loch. hills now sheltered the loch and the water was calm again. A shaft of bright sunlight illuminated another lovely beach, and as I knew it was another 2 hours before I got back to Acharico, I couldn't resist another landing and walk to get my circulation moving again. It looked the perfect spot for a wild camp, so I made a note to myself to return with a tent when things warm up again. The perfect pitch with a pretty view. Then it was back to the boat for a quick hop, skip and jump to the very end of the loch. Then all that was left to do was to turn around and go back the way I came. You have already seen the scenery, so I will end the video here. Thanks for watching.